what? Opportunity. After income, opportunity. The level of opportunity may influence the level of what? Inequality. Through what? Access. How easy is it for individuals to access education? It's very, very important. Work. How easy is it for you to access work? Housing, etc. I was driving around with a friend who visited me in Enugu. He was saying, there are so many fine buildings, fine duplexes. I told him, unfortunately, those people who own the one in GRA are the same people that own the one in New Haven. They are the same people that own the same one Independence Layout. That this new layout Buruburu is building, they will still be the same people to own that one. And unfortunately for us, none of them sleep in those houses. All of them sleep in hotels. He said, so you now see that whereas there are so many people who don't even have one room to sleep in. That now brings us to what we learned last week. Somebody was asked a question using the word feet, F-E-E-T. What does feet mean? Feet. It's a plural of your two legs, Abi? Yeah. So when they now ask, how many people will you find in a feet, in 1 feet or in 1,000 feet? So he was now using some areas in Lagos. He said some places like Ajebule, you may find 3,000 people per every 1,000 feet. But if you go to Lekki, you may find 5 people per every 1,000 feet. Is it not correct? It's correct. Though Lekki is changing because flood is helping to even make it, reduce it from 5 to 1, if you will find anybody at all. That shows you. So you now see that access to housing is also a very major concern in inequality. The next thing that affects opportunity is what? Discrimination. Discrimination on the basis of what? Ethnicity, the basis of gender, the basis of disability, and so on and so on. You see someone not being employed in a particular place because he comes from a particular ethnic group. Maybe those who are present are from a particular ethnic group. They don't want any other person to come. So no matter how you impress them in an interview, they've already made up their mind that you are not going to pass. It happens in Nigeria, and it will continue to happen unless we address them. We have discrimination in terms of what? Gender. I remember, I won't mention my school. I remember when I was in year 1, they told me that nobody, they said women don't study mechanical engineering in that school. I know it's changing. Some schools, they don't allow women to apply for mechanical engineering. They don't allow them to. They say if you want to be an engineer, you're a woman, go to chemical engineering. For their safety. Miliki, please, let's be on one page today. So which safety? Allow them to think about their safety. That person knows that it is not easy for her, but yet she wants to do that. I learned a lot. If you recall the story of the Second World War, you know that during the Second World War, all the men were trained to operate jet fighters, while women took over domestic airlines in United States of America. All the domestic airlines in the United States were taken over by female pilots because the men now went to drive what? Jet fighters to be able to pump Germany and all those countries, Japan and so on and so on. So you don't discriminate when it comes to work because of gender. Then disability, we know that. So many people say, who is this one? Why is he coming? Who invited him in the first place? You don't do that. Once he has a qualification, you have to take him or her. Then, apart from opportunity, we have the fourth strand, which is what? Physical environment. Physical environment can include what? Natural resources. You know that can also create a lot of what? Inequality. Raw materials and climate can make you unequal. I remember when you cannot plant some kind of crops in the northern part of this country. Because of technology, irrigation has now made it possible for even Kano to plant rice, KB to plant rice. That's what policy can do, to make people so that physical environment cannot prevent them from exploring their potential. That also helps to cover and reduce inequality. Not only availability of natural resources, but what? Accessibility. Sometimes natural resources are there, but you can't access it legally. And ease with which they can be exploited. You can't compare the kind of exploitation of coal in South Africa to that of Australia. In terms of Australia, you never hear that somebody is dead, that a trench fell. Or you compare Australia with China, where every time you hear that so many people are trapped mining coal. These guys have better technology to do that in such a way that nobody is trapped at the end of the day. So those are the kind of things you can use policy to do. Technology can help you, and you find out that inequality can be closed. Then the next one is inequality in terms of what? Assets. Assets. Not just the quantity, but also the what? Quality. We have seen, let's go back a bit. This one is it not assets? No, these are assets of different people. Yeah, that's the assets. So they may have how many folks, but what about the quality? These kind of folks, one reporter will be living there, a bedboard will have a safe haven there, and so many other things. So it's better for you to sleep on the floor than sleep on those folks. So you now see that it's not just the quantity of assets you have, but the quality of assets matters. Yeah?
But don't you think that this is lawlessness?
We will get to that before we go. So that is it. Then we also talk about, in terms of individuals, ownership of houses, cars, consumer goods, etc. also creates inequality. Some of us, I have never been a fan of ASU. I will say it publicly. I've never been a fan of ASU because I teach in a university. But this is the only strike I supported. Not because of what they are saying, but because of what happened a week earlier. You are negotiating with us, talking about debt and all these things. For you, all we are hearing was 6.3 billion has been released for the senators because they said they don't have enough cars. So you now begin to ask yourself, who is deceiving who? So when they said that ASU has gone on strike, so people, my colleagues were surprised when instead of criticizing them, I said, if we are going on strike, let me go back home. I have a lot of workshops to attend. So yes, it doesn't make sense. So you now see people accumulating wealth at the detriment of others. Somebody is having 20 houses when some other person in the same country don't have one. He's asking for 1 bedroom, but you already have 20 duplexes. Yet you are complaining that you don't have enough because you want to compete with someone else. That breeds inequality. Cars, where do we start? Consumer goods and so on. So in terms of countries, we now begin to look at raw materials, infrastructure, roads. In part of this country, there are places where you don't have presence of road, no roads. Two communities cannot link themselves. Go to Delta, go to Bayelsa. You see, because of so much water, there are communities that cannot communicate with the other. Because you have to, even cross road, because you have to go round and round and round and round. Last year, on 26th of December, there was a celebration across the world where the Chinese were able to build a bridge that crossed 2 mountains. That they say the depth of the bridge, in fact, if you fall from the bridge, before you get downstairs, it's like falling from 200 stories. What were they trying to do? To close the gap between 2 cities, because before you move from this city to the other city, because of the 2 mountains, you have to travel about 6 hours. But they were able to close it, and you can now travel in less than 1 hour. That's what it means to come up with policies that tries to do what? such inequality. Nobody cares about it here. In Switzerland, they have to dig a train through rocks in order to link two cities. 65 kilometers inside the rocks. They are trying to do what? To make sure that people have access. They can communicate. They can move together. They can see each other in very short distant time. When we read all these things, some of us don't think deep to ask yourself, what do you think is the aim of the government by spending this kind of money in doing just these things to link up these two cities? Is in order to do what? To reduce inequality of all sorts. Amount and quality of human assets and capital assets is also very important on that aspect.